Hey everyone, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the golf swing for those of you that tend to have problems with getting your hands to be a little too active in the backswing. We're going to take a look at Steve Stricker's driver swing here. Obviously a very accomplished player, especially over the last 3-4 years. In fact, this particular club, the driver, almost made him walk away from the game probably 7-8 years ago. But he got this back, and he always had a good short game, and that's why he's the great player that he is now. So let's take a look at his swing here for just for a few minutes, and I want to show you why I always mention him to my students because of his hand action or lack thereof. So as he is taking the club to the top here, actually let's take a look at his setup. You notice that his setup is very, very solid. Slight tilt in the spine, a little bit of a forward press there before he takes it back. That's just his little quirk to start the motion. But the key here that we're going to talk about is the top. Now, if you look at this position here, most guys might have a little bit straighter arm and a little bit more wrist cock, and they might even have the shaft itself might be a little bit beyond parallel, somewhere in here. But his hands are so dead, which is great. He doesn't get the parallel. And he's almost there, but he's not quite there. And it's a very quiet position. His hands didn't really do very much. And as the downswing starts, obviously, what's going to start it? The hips, right? If that's the proper sequence, the hips start the downswing. But look at that position right there. See, there's still lag in that shaft, and most amateurs, when they throw it away, regardless of how good or bad their backswing looked, a lot of amateurs throw it away, and then the shaft ends up looking in this position right here at this point in the swing instead of being lagged like a whip behind your hands. So this position here is going to allow him to come into impact properly, but when you throw it away, the momentum of the club head now is trying to pass the hands, and you end up flipping the left wrist at impact, and that ends up being big problems for most of you. Or you hit the ball fat, or you hit the ground first. So we don't want either one of those. As he keeps coming down, you notice that the left wrist is flat, which is where all of the good players in the world are, without question. And because his left wrist was flat, get it in that frame here again, notice that perfect position there. You notice the shaft is an extension of his left arm. That momentum is going to keep both arms straight, and as he follows through here, you can see both arms are still straight. Most amateurs that throw it away at the top, by this point, this left arm is completely collapsed and chicken winging, and we don't have any width to the swing, and it ends up being a very weak motion, not a lot of power. So this position right here is so vital, and most amateurs don't get it. They don't get to this position here because the momentum is off, and the momentum really is coming from the wrong place at the top of the backswing. And because of his proper motion, the momentum keeps going to the top nice and quiet. Notice his left foot, it's a little bit up, but the heel didn't move. So he's in good shape there, and it's a nice balanced swing. So the key here is I wanted you guys to see was that his hands themselves don't really do very much during the swing. I mean, surely they're loading and cocking and unloading, but they don't necessarily hit the ball. It's very much of a drag, and that's where most amateurs can improve the most. If you feel like your upper body is rotating through the ball and your hips start the motion, it ends up being so much quieter, and you end up getting more out of your shot. So just keep that in mind next time you're playing. Steve Stricker, dead hands all the way around with lots of rotation, and you'll be in a lot better shape. Thanks. See you next time.